Because I'm a really practicing Muslim. I pray 5 times in a day, go to Hajj, I'm in the pilgrimage. My family is a very religious family, so on and so forth. So, before these questions, so many times, I have felt that I need to defend my religion. I need to defend my worldview. Not because of my fault, but because of some fundamentalist, as Reverend Debbie already touched. And because of the terrible acts that they have done. What was my fault staying 5.5 months in Turkey and trying to explain people what the situation is? I haven't done anything wrong so far. In terms of really harming others or doing something bad to others, and being in a position to defend my religion and my worldview. That was my personal experience so far about 9/11 issue. We should, I think, I can't really express enough what the religion really teaches us about really loving each other and not really harming each other at all. But I want you to really believe me, and you really trust in me that Islam as my religion, in the way that I see, in the way that I perceive, in the way I read, and plus in the way that majority of Muslims read, does not really teach ever, never, to kill the other people. There's a verse in the Quran, "Man qatala nafsan bighayri nafsin" in Arabic, فَكَأَنَّمَا قَتَلَ النَّاسَ جَمِيعًا. Whoever kills a person without that person killing some innocent person, whoever kills such a person, he as if killed the whole humanity. This is a verse clearly stated in the Quran. So if you have such a statement in the Quran, how can you act in the name of God and do such a terrible event called 9/11? What about infidels, or what about non-Muslims? Can we coexist with them together? Just a few verses from the Quran. If it had been God's will, they would not have practiced idolatry so. We have not made you their keeper, nor are you responsible for what they do. Quran, chapter 6, verse 107. In other words, we know best what the disbelievers say. You are not there to force them. Another verse from the Quran. And if it distresses you that those who deny the truth turn their backs on you, remember that if God had so willed, He could bring them all to guidance. So, do not join the ignorant. Do we need to really compose the people to be Muslim or to believe in the God that we believe? In other words, the throne of God extends over the heavens and the earth, and it does not weary Him to preserve the both. And He alone is truly the most high and the powerful. There is no compulsion in the religion. So these are the teachings of the Quran, and these are the teachings that I follow and try to really express these verses and the teachings to the people that I encounter, to the people I'm questioned by. Today is the 10th year of 9/11. And so far we have experienced what it means. Many of us have suffered because of this terrible event, terrible activity. We felt sorrow. Many people still feel the difficulty, the pain of that event in their hearts because they lost their beloved ones. But it has been 10 years already. What do we need to do with that 10 years, and in what way we should look for the future? What do we want to do for the future with the event, with the experience that we had already? To be honest with you, for this question, I'm not brave enough to suggest something to you from myself, because even I'm hesitating that as a Muslim, do I have such a right to suggest to you guys, to you people, that let's look at the future. Let's try to be together and be content with the pains that we already felt in our hearts, and let's look at the future. I want to say that, but I don't feel that I am that much encouraged to say this. So, I'm just going to read a little article written by an assistant professor who teaches at Swarthmore College, who lost her mother in 9/11 event, and she wrote this article on the Washington Post just a few days ago. And instead of me suggesting you something for the future, I would rather her to speak to you, because she is the one who felt the terrible consequences of that event. And she is the one who felt the pain the most. She says, 10 years ago Sunday, I lost my mother, Norma Lang Sturley, when American Airlines Flight 77 was flown into the Pentagon. Much has changed in the world and in my life over the past decade. I got married and have 2 children. I have a job I love. Despite the events of 10 years ago, I feel very lucky. But I also feel conflicted. Every year on September 11th, and especially in the lead up to this 10th anniversary, I am invited to events aimed at reflection and remembrance of that horrible day. I'm grateful to the many people who make these thoughtful and well-organized events happen. Through them, I have felt the nation's care and concern for me and for my family. But I can't but wonder if this is really the best way now to remember my mother and the thousands of others who died on September 11th, 2001. Yes, some family members and first responders are still living with illness, health problems, and other horrors of September 11th. And for some, such events might help to heal their emotional wounds. Here is the other side, though, for me anyway. Sometimes I feel I'm asked to attend my mother's funeral again and again, year after year. I wonder what my mom, a clinical psychologist, would think of these memorials. Would she tell me to look back less and look ahead more? Would she remind me that the final stage of grief is acceptance and renewal? Or would she recommend that next year on September 11th, we try to erect a different kind of memorial to those we lost by participating in an event aimed at making the world more compassionate, safer, and more equitable? What if we all spend the 11th anniversary of the attacks reflecting on what we admired most about our lost loved ones and trying to emulate those ideals? Or what if we spent time building not another structure in memorial, but instead building our relationships with others or raising money for our favorite charity? These are the thoughts of this beautiful lady who lost her mother on the September 11th attack. And I hope that all the wounds, all the pains that we have felt so far will be healed, and we will be hopeful for the future, and we will be united, and we will be living together as this unity, as this church, even it's by name, suggests us. Thank you so much.